All right, so second take. Uh, Congratulations to all the Tennessee fans. You guys absolutely deserve this win. You guys know what to do. You can make fun of me. I've talked a lot of shit about Tennessee about this season, right? So you guys have every single right to brag. Smoke your cigars, light it up. You guys are 2-0 in Neyland, since 22. So congratulations to Tennessee fans. Can't talk shit. You guys absolutely deserved it. Hard-fought win. And good luck to you guys for the rest of the way, man. Like I said, I welcome any sort of fan base. I'm going to be here regardless if we win or lose. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we win, I'm going to be bragging a lot. I'm going to be bragging, even though, again, I'll make some complaints. But, of course, as obvious, if I'm going to make fun of fan bases, I need to take it in the chin as well. So, Tennessee fans, I'm going to be here regardless of the outcome. So, you guys absolutely deserve it. Enjoy your win, and good luck to you guys for the rest of the season. But Alabama fans, listen, I want all the Alabama fans that called me a fair weather to show up in the comment section. I need you to show up in the comment section today. Show up in the comment section in this video. Don't run away from it. Show up in Coach Sean's live stream. And I don't want you to change up. I don't want you to change up. Keep that same energy that you guys have been keeping, like trolling on me on social media, trolling me on here on YouTube. Keep that same energy. Because now Alabama's 5-2. You got to the toughest part of your schedule, which was this 3-game stretch, and you can't beat Tennessee. This was the best possible matchup for you. This was the probably the easiest matchup for you, and you lost. So you are 5-2. Bama fans, we are 5-2. You now play Missouri. Then you play LSU. Let's see what happens. Again, am I 100% confident we're going to beat Missouri? Hell no. This is an inconsistent team that simply can't find an identity. I definitely think we're not winning against LSU. We're going to lose against LSU. I am 100% confident that we're going to lose against LSU. So if you want to, again, call me a fair weather fan, I don't give a fuck. I will take that shit. No problem. I'll be the fair weather fan. We are going to lose against LSU in Baton Rouge because we cannot handle these environments. We cannot handle pressurized situations. So we are going to lose that game. Meaning that I think for the season, we are going to go 9-3 and missing out in a 12-team playoff. Again, this is what happens when you lose to Vanderbilt. Because if you would have lost today, it's a one-score loss against a top-ranked opponent. You move on. You lose, it sucks, especially losing to Tennessee. But you lose, you move on. It is what it is. But because you lost to Vanderbilt, yes, I think Vanderbilt's going to win. They're going to go 5-2. The problem is their next 5 games. Their next 4 to 5 games are extremely difficult. The next 4 games are extremely difficult. And Vanderbilt could literally walk by the end of the season. They could be 6-6 or 5-7. They can literally lose all those games. Maybe they can win 7 games. I would say best case scenario. But the point is, they're not going to be ranked. So you lose to Vanderbilt, you lose to Tennessee, who lost to Arkansas, and now you got to win against Missouri and LSU. So you cannot lose any other games. If you lose any other games, you have eliminated any single chance of this team making the playoffs. Now, if Alabama runs the table, can you make the playoffs? Yeah, it's possible. It's not a high percentage chance, though, if you just would have won it with 1 loss. You're definitely not going to be playing for an SEC championship. You can throw that shit out the door. You're not playing for an SEC championship. So your best case scenario, you win every game and you leave a great impression. If you blow out every single team, you go 10-2, you have a good chance of making it. But knowing this team and knowing how we are, we're not that team that will step on a team's throat. We're not that team. We're just not that team. We had plenty of opportunities to blow out Tennessee in that first half. We couldn't capitalize. Now listen, Tennessee arguably could have scored 20 points as well. Nico kept missing deep ball after deep ball after deep ball. And I thought in that first half, we did a great job. We made Nico play post snap. Because we took a lot of his pre-snap, a lot of those passing options pre-snap wise. We stopped the running, we stopped the rushing attack, forcing Nico to, again, he's got to beat us with his arm. He's got to go ahead and make progressions. And he was inaccurate. He couldn't really, go through those consistent progressions. And we did a tremendous job against Tennessee in that first half. Guess what? In the second half, though, we couldn't do it. Why? Because Tennessee, they made adjustments they made adjustments with their offensive line. They started to really up the tempo. They were getting 5-6 yards a carry. It seemed like they were running a lot more pin and pull. They're at least pulling the guard and the tackle. And Dylan Sampson did a phenomenal job in the second half in terms of reading his blocks. So Tennessee established the ground game. which pretty much opened up the passing attack because it opened up a lot of underneath routes. So they were running hitches, they're running inside slants, which then opened up the deep ball. So again, they only hit like 2 deep balls in the second half, but they should have hit a lot more because Tennessee's receivers were killing killing the secondary. And I don't think that Tennessee has the best receiving core in the world. Our secondary is hobbled. They're banged up and they're too young. They're too inexperienced. They are the weakness of this team. And if this front seven can't win, if this front seven cannot win, it was going to be a wrap. This was the problem, though, with your offense. This is why scoring only 7 points in that first half, that's the reason why we lost, was because we could not capitalize off of opportunities in the first half. The second half, your defense was hobbled. Your defense, yes, offensively, you played better. Why? Because Sheridan did something that he should have done in the first place, which was run the football through the interior, run it between the A and the B gap. Use Jam Miller and use his physicality towards your advantage instead of using Milroe to run off the edge. And even then, we were still doing that shit. And guess what? We weren't really successful at it. I think the best case scenario when we did it was when it was running sweep to the outside was 2-3 yards. But we got too cute. We got too gimmicky at times. And we didn't really take advantage of opportunities that Tennessee was presenting us. 3 turnovers and 0 points. 3 turnovers and 0 points is what we produced in the first half. And again, Tennessee is a team that can make adjustments. And once they get the ball rolling and that offense starts to get going, this is the result that you get. They scored 0 points in the first half, 24 points in the second half. I know everyone's going to go down Kane Womack's throat. You guys know how I feel about Kane Womack. And you guys know how I feel about this 4-2-5 defense. I don't like it. I don't like it for us. I don't like it, period. I don't like it for these players. Again, is it the worst defense in the world? No. Can these players play it? Yes. Especially if they can play assignment-based football. I don't think that these players are comfortable or are completely bought into this defense. I just don't think that they are. And we're not going to switch everything up. We're going to run this defense all throughout the season. But the problem is that this secondary is too hobbled, it's too inexperienced. And then you look at your front seven. If they cannot win, it is a wrap. You're going to lose. And that's exactly what happened here tonight. But offensively, again, I'm not going to blame the defense. I'm just not. Because your defense made crucial stops in consecutive drives to give your offense an opportunity to go ahead and win the game. Your offense played like garbage tonight. Nick Sheridan coached like ass tonight. Jalen Milroe, this was the worst game I've seen by Jalen Milroe since that Michigan game in the Rose Bowl. He played terribly. He played terrible. Couldn't go through his progressions consistently, and if he made the wrong decisions. Again, couldn't throw it to the flat. But at the same time, though, where are the crossing routes? Where are the dig routes? Where are the level concepts? Sheridan really wasn't helping out a lot of these receivers, but at the same time, though, Milroe, if there are open looks, which they were open looks that Sheridan was presenting you, you got to take those looks. Instead, we kept trying to force it to Ryan freaking Williams. We couldn't get the ball to Bernard. We couldn't get the ball to Dupree. We couldn't get the ball to Cole Adams consistently. We just couldn't really do it. And again, a lot of the flats were open. Milroe chose not to throw it. So this was by far the worst game that Milroe has played. But again, I didn't think that Sheridan Sheridan, for the most part, I didn't think he really helped out Milroe as well. But it is what it is at this point. I'm tired of this team, man. It's inconsistent. 1 week it's the offense. 1 week it's the defense. We can never put together a full-scale game. And it's been happening since the beginning of the freaking season. The closest that this team has played to all together for 4 quarters of football was against Western Kentucky. That's the closest we've had. The Wisconsin game, we played better in that Wisconsin game, but let's be honest here, guys. Tyler Van Dyke got injured. Who knows what would have happened if Tyler Van Dyke never would have got hurt? Would we still have won the game? Yes, I think we would have won the game. But Wisconsin probably would have scored a lot more points on this defense if Tyler Van Dyke was healthy, because they were driving down the field before he was able to get injured. But yes, guys, we're 5-2. And again, I want all the Bama fans that call me a fair weather, even before the game even started, I had Bama fans sliding in the DMs, calling me out. And so I want all these fans to show up, report, and explain how we lost this game. And I want you to keep the same energy. Keep that same energy. Because we tried to tell you, me, Coach Sean, Ty Hayes, we were called haters all throughout. All the Bama content creators were called haters. We were telling the truth of what this team is. This team lacks an identity. This team lacks a culture. And this is a team that I still think is, despite all the issues that we have, I still think that this is a good football team. This is a 9-3 football team. This is a 9-3 team. I don't think we're winning against LSU. You can throw that shit out the door. That's done with. LSU's receivers are way better than Tennessee's. They have a much better functioning offense than Tennessee does have. Tennessee played like shit today on offensively. Nico played like ass today offensively. And you couldn't take advantage of the opportunities that they were presenting you. Now, again, shout out to Tennessee again because they fought. They fought with grit. They fought with heart. And they executed better in the second half than we did. Even though that we were up 7-0 and our defense played damn near perfect in the first half with 3 turnovers and you couldn't capitalize offensively. But, guys, listen, I'm going to say it. I like Miro, but I can't wait until he goes. I'm being dead ass serious. I got to get a better passing quarterback, and I got to get a better passing quarterback. I do. I like Miro a lot. He has improved. I think that Miro has a better chance of succeeding in the NFL compared to college because of his upside, and he has shown stable growth and progression. I got to have a better quarterback that can operate this offense because the way that Sheridan uses Milroe, the way that Sheridan uses Jalen freaking Milroe, it's not conducive to what this offense should be. And if you're gonna run this offense, Jalen Miro may not be the best quarterback to be that option. I wish he had more time. I wish that Jalen Miro was a sophomore because then I think that he can get that his growth could have progressed twice as much because we see it with Michael Penix. Michael Penix was a dual threat guy that was raw as hell until he was able to develop into the later years of his career, working with this coaching staff, working with Sheridan, working with DeBoer, working with Grubb. Jalen Miro has less than 1 year in this offense. So I wish he had more time. But again, we need Keelan Russell to be in this offense. And we need him to grow and develop within the offense. It's going to take him maybe a couple years. But Keelan Russell, I think, is going to be elite within this offense. But I don't know. It's just, the season may be over. I'm going to be honest with you. The season may be over. Again, we have a chance of making the playoffs. You have to win 10 games. You got to win all the games now. You got to beat LSU. You got to beat Missouri. You have to win every game in the SEC. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We're 1-2 in SEC play. You are not playing for an SEC championship. That shit's done. You can throw that shit out the door. That's over with. We're not playing for an SEC championship. But can you make a 12-team playoff? You have to win every game. And you have to leave a great impression. You can't just barely escape these games and think that you're going to get the 12th spot. But we'll see what happens. It is the SEC. We have the conference in our favor. But losing to Vanderbilt screwed you. It did. Not playing well, not executing. Players not being bought in and playing in structure. It costed you. Because instead of pretty much being the only loss in your schedule, and we can honestly live with it and move on, we're now in a situation now where you have to win every game. You got to win every game. And if you don't, you're fucked. You can definitely say bye to the playoffs, but your playoff chances went from this. It went from a 50% chance. No, I would say it went from like an 80% chance. If you just ran through the SEC, you can lose in the SEC championship game. You just have to make it, or at least just run through the regular season and just have one loss. You went from having an almost guaranteed chance to now you're probably you may have a 30 or maybe 40. You may have a 30% chance of making it now. So congratulations, Alabama and Alabama fans, or to all the hardcore Bama fans. This is exactly what you got. You wished for it, you got it. You wished for it, you got it. You didn't want me to commentate. You didn't want Bama fans to, you didn't want us to go on. Well, guess what? The floor is yours. You can explain to these people how and why we lost this football game. You can explain, because we tried telling you exactly what this team was made of for weeks, and we kept getting criticized and called fair weather and all this bullshit. So I'll leave it up to you guys to explain how we lost. But anyway, guys, once again, congratulations to Tennessee fans. I'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys know I will be back with more commentary and more content.